Late night type shit. Bra, 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 bra. Are you mad? I'm wondering too many. I'm wondering too many. That's my next track out there. This is a shameless sneak shout out to myself, you know. It's called Nah I'm Playing. I ain't in my track, but I'm gonna make a track like that. That's some West Coast vibe, you know what I'm saying, straight out of Cali on some crib shit. But nah, for real, I make songs though, and a real thing. I go by the name of Barrow, Mitakulo, my people, man. It's been too long. All I can say is I'm a free man. You know what I'm saying? Put the free before the Agbero. I mean, put my name before the free. Agbero free. You see me? So, yeah, today, on a serious note though, today is an interesting type of video. It's like it's a type of video like unlike my others, you know. I make finished rap music reactions and stuff like that, but today we're gonna be deep diving into the Finnish community, understanding what it's like being a black person. As you can see, I'm full black, you know what I'm saying, no half caste, no mix, you know. I got that melatonin in me, so we're gonna see. I want to come to Finland as well, so I want to know what to be aware of before I come. And for anyone, you know, regardless of the race, let me know what it's like in Finland and how your race affects the opportunities there, and you know, socializing. So yeah, we're gonna get straight into that. I'ma stop talking, let's get it.
Being black in Finland.
What
is it like?
Black.
The reason why a lot of people like to ask me this
question
is for the simple reason that Finland is a majority white country, and people instinctively think that because it's a majority white country, I am probably receiving a lot of racial prejudice. But am I? You see, I've been living here for...
This is a sensitive topic, man. I can already feel the nerves, man. I can feel the hair follicles opening up, you know what I mean? Man's getting goosebumps listening to this shit already. Only 27 seconds in.
5 years now, so I feel like I can answer that question quite honestly. But before I go on answering that question, I guess I need to paint a little picture for you. We have to go back in time to the country I grew up in, which is South Africa. One thing you must know about South Africa is that it is a very racially charged country, and for good reason. I don't know if you've heard about apartheid, but it was a system of governance that separated people by a race. It was really dehumanizing for people who were not white. There were certain areas you couldn't go if you were a certain skin color.
People were segregated in Africa, of all places. That doesn't make sense,
right?
This ad, bro,
has the best AI features in the game, especially in sales.
I don't give a toss about AI right now.
Email composition works like magic. You know,
like
I'm
magic.
not a great writer,
abracadabra. Get out of my sight, man. Get out of my screen.
Right? Because my family was originally from the DRC, the Congo, but we arrived in South Africa when I was around 2 years old, and by that time, apartheid.
Shout out to the Congo gang in Finland, man.
By then, although it had ended, the racial tensions and the racial prejudices were still there. That's the environment that I grew up in. When I think back to when I was a child, I'm old enough to realize now that there was a lot of racism happening.
A lot of racism.
in many different forms.
Underground racism for sure.
As I grew up, I still made friends with people of different races, and my skin got a bit thicker. I stopped feeling bothered if someone said something rude to me. It was life. I was in South Africa. People talk about race quite a lot, and you can be judged simply by your skin color. So if you are walking around and you are white, chances are people would think that you probably have money.
That's it. It's because of the social engineering, man. Because that's obviously they believe that's a superior race, man. Because they've been dominating through history. They've been dominating and colonizing for years, innit? So they're ahead of most races and stuff. So that's what it is, man. Yeah, I know them. I know what he's talking about. I know where he's getting around. Them pro assumptions of someone before they even introduce themselves. You know what I mean? It's not cool.
And some of the prejudice that black people face is that when you are walking around, people assume that you're possibly gonna steal from them or something like that. So I know it sounds really strange to you if you're watching from somewhere other than South Africa, but that was the vibe. That's what I grew up with. Thinking back to my life in South Africa, race was central in a lot of issues. There were still definitely hate crimes that could possibly be deemed as racial crimes, right? It was kind of normal for that to happen. But when you think about the society in South Africa, it is a very mixed group of people.
Yeah, melting pot.
With different shades
different cultures,
of skin color and whatnot. So we're not afraid to talk about race.
No funny shit. Different shapes, man. He's probably going to talk about the shapes. Different shades, different shapes. If you know, you know. Big bunda, fam, for South Africa. Hummer, bumper to bumper. Bong, bong, bong. Left and right. I got to go there, man. I'm talking like I've been there before, but from the social media clips I've been seeing of the girls that originate in South Africa. Even though they got a big forehead, man, the backside can make up for it. It definitely does.
Joke about it, and in certain cases, people fight about it too. I did receive racism from white people.
People fight about
that was true in certain parts of my life, and I can't hide away from it. It's true. I can relate, man.
I can relate. Yeah,
it happened.
It happens.
But the strange thing is that wasn't the only place I received hate from. I also received hate from other black South Africans. Not all of them, obviously. And it was because I wasn't born in South Africa, even though most of my life was from there. So xenophobia.
Do you know them one day?
It is weird that although I did experience racism from white people, a bulk of the prejudice I received or the hate I received came from other black people, which was quite weird. It was from when I was a kid.
Basically believing you're not a part of them, like you're othering.
For not having been born in South Africa.
You're part of the other side, basically.
The more I grew up, the more my skin got thicker, and the more I just got used to dealing with that. So that was my life, basically. In certain areas, like I moved to Cape Town, and in Cape Town, I wasn't really receiving a lot of xenophobia, and I felt a lot more peaceful there, to be honest. The point I'm trying to make is that I felt like I was always very aware of race. It was something that people spoke about a lot, the government spoke about it a lot, different groups of people
only tend to speak about it. People tend to bring up race the most when it comes to politics, you know, voting for your president. I think, I'm pretty sure Finland's a democracy, not a monarchy, so they have a democracy. I don't even know who the Finnish president is. I'm gonna check after this video, but yeah, man, race gets brought up a lot during those times. So those times of voting and stuff, and changes to the law for sure.
TV, race was always a thing that was in your face all the time. So it is what it is. I'm not even complaining about it. I feel like a lot of the things I went through made me the man I am. And yes, I still do love South Africa, and I don't care about anyone who's giving me hate. I don't give a shit. I'll visit whenever I want and have a good time regardless, because I've got tons of friends there.
That's it, bro. Shout out Chico, man. Chico Muya.
YouTube ads is made for your business.
I'm gonna need that for my business,
with
man.
Targeted video ads.
That shit. Slowing down.
Then I moved to Finland.
I'm gonna need
now, to be honest, I didn't know what to think about Finnish people. I knew nothing about Finland when I moved here. But the strangest thing happened to me when I moved here. No one gave a shit about my skin color. No one spoke about my skin color. Hardly anyone
That's a big surprise, though.
it wasn't something that was
serious
seemingly
change,
on people's minds very much. I would walk into a store and no one would follow me.
In Finland,
I would go
really?
into different places, or I would go to the doctor or whatever, and I would be treated exactly the same as everyone else. And I remember it felt like there was this huge weight.
They did say that Finland is the most that Finland's population is the most happiest in the world. They're ranked #1. So that's for that reason, that's probably a factor in them not needing to feel threatened by another race, because I guess Finland's crime rate as well is pretty low. So it hasn't really, I guess the people growing up there haven't really been affected by immigrants coming in there and media's propaganda. So yeah, that's good to hear. I'm surprised. There's a lot of blondies there too, though. You know what I'm saying? A lot of blondies there. I thought they were fixated on a certain type of look. Like usually countries have their beauty standards. So yeah, I wonder what Finland's beauty standard is.
Lifted off my shoulders. Like, I'd been thinking about race so much my entire life. It was a constant nagging thought, like a splinter in my mind. And yet,
I know that feeling,
when I came here, I noticed that I didn't have to.
It just feels like a feather, isn't it?
Running in my mind all the time. I remember taking my first public transport.
It's a mental toll, man. It's not easy.
If I saw someone looking at me, there was a part of me that questioned, could it be something to do with my race? Could it be, are they looking at me because
potentially.
I'm black? But as I spend more time getting to know people here, the more I realize that people here just want to be left alone in general. The thing that Finnish people mostly care about is their culture. As long as their culture isn't being besmirched or isn't being destroyed, they don't care. You could be any color, but if you come here and you embrace the culture and you try and fit in and you pay taxes and do your job and committing crimes and that sort of stuff.
You wear furry coats. I guess fit in. How do I fit in? What's one tip for me to fit in when I come to Finland? I'm gonna come potentially during the winter. I'm definitely bring. I got this big furry deer coat. I know Finland, they love that kind of goose type of fur material type of coat, so I'm gonna bring that, and I'm gonna bring my Viking stick too. You know what I'm saying? Cause I know folks there hunts for the meat, man. The lamb, the goddamn deers and stuff. I'm gonna have everything tapped in 100%. But let me know what I should prepare for when I come to Finland.
So being black here in Finland, I don't even think about it. I truly haven't felt like I've been attacked because of my skin color, and it's so strange to me. And although it hasn't happened to me, some people say it has happened to them, and I'm not here to look down on anyone else's experiences. But having lived in a country where racism or xenophobia would find me no matter where I was, it was such a new experience to be like, yo, I've looked for that shit and I haven't seen it. I've worked in different.
It's actually sad, like it's trauma, man. You're like, it's like you as a black person, it's like a part of life. You just accept it, you know what I mean? So I understand where he's coming from where he means where he states he was looking for it, looking for being judged, and profiled. Just simply because of his skin. So yeah, he was looking for it, and thankfully he didn't come across the wrong group of people that delivered what he expected. But yeah, I'm proud of this. It's a unique story. Most times when I come on YouTube, people have a horror and a really emotional story to tell about racism in any country. So it's good to hear that Finland are actually more about culture than race.
He says, when I first moved here, I worked in the hospitality industry and I was treated great by everyone. As long as I did my job, no one cared. So the thing for me is that if one thinks of Finland with the same lens
This shit is squeaky as a motherfucker,
how you view
man.
race in like America,
I need to put some oil in that, some cooking oil in it
Finland
to
a disservice, in my personal opinion, because normal people don't seem to have that to be.
What did he say? I didn't even hear.
Racism or xenophobia would find me no matter where I was. It was such a new experience to be like, yo, I've looked for that shit and I haven't seen it. I haven't found it. I've worked in different places. When I first moved here, I worked in the hospitality industry and I was treated great by everyone. As long as I did my job, no one cared. So the thing for me is that if one thinks of Finland with the same lens of how you view race in like America or South Africa, you'd be doing Finland a disservice, in my personal opinion, because normal people don't seem to have that to be a big thing in their minds. Where there is, say, prejudice, I'd say it has to do with anything, any religion or any other culture that negatively impacts the Finnish culture. I personally, in my opinion, I'd say if you call some Finnish people xenophobic as opposed to racist, you might be getting a little closer to the issue, because you can't make one-on-one comparisons between America, South Africa, and Finland, because the Finnish history is itself completely different to those countries, right? Finnish people themselves have been oppressed by the Russians and the Swedish. So I feel like people here just have a bit of a different mindset. The only people here who I have felt who have no...
There we go, man. Create your own website by saying, this is what I want. With Wix, you can...
Crusty ass guy, man. This guy's chopped like my legs, I swear. Get out of my screen, man.
Noticed my skin color and stared at me because of my skin color are kids.
Kids, yeah, I guess they're still learning, isn't it?
This is when I first moved here, because I haven't experienced this too much, but I do remember that kids are just so curious, like little kids. I'm talking about really, really small kids, where I'll be on a bus and I'll just see a kid looking at me like, yo, what's up with that, brother? Has he been drinking too much coffee? But otherwise, you know, I'm not saying that there is no racism here. I'm pretty sure there is, just like anywhere else. But it's
probably the old heads, it's the older community, like the older people.
That's
what it is.
This is one of the most inclusive places that I've ever been to. The systems here in Finland, when it comes to policies, they are usually skewed to aiding people who are financially in a desperate place. So if you lose your job, for example, the government can give you some money to help you through certain issues, not because of your skin color or your gender or anything, but because of where you are financially. And I think some of these policies have done a great job in just evening the playing field. Well, at least that's just the way I perceive it. The people here are very protective of the country. The country has worked really well in taking care of its people, and now that the whole world seems to be battling with immigration, where there just seems to be something going on, just like in America right now, there's just hundreds and thousands of immigrants coming in,
from all corners, man.
And that stuff is causing a lot of tension, even here in Finland. And I think it's now that people are starting to use the word racist to describe the frustration that some people feel, which I believe is a little bit of a disservice and a little bit dishonest to the real issues that people are trying to point out. So, in closing, being black in Finland is a non-existent question, because I don't even think about my skin color. I don't have to think about my skin color. Of course, I love my skin color. I think it looks great. I think it's awesome.
Amazing, man.
But I just simply don't have to think about it. If someone treats me bad, the first thing that runs through my head isn't, oh, they doing this because I'm black or blah, blah, blah. Whereas in other places like South Africa, that question, it's not completely inaccurate. You would not be seen as crazy for genuinely wondering about that. Whereas here, I don't know, man. I just simply haven't experienced it myself. Other people may have, and in general, if you just treat people with respect, you usually get respect back. But regardless of that, of course, there are idiots wherever you
can't treat
go.
everyone with
In
respect,
every culture,
that's
there are
what
people
it is,
in the
for sure,
fringes who have
they're
radical views.
They're gonna throw you into that hamster wheel,
but
man. Take you for a fool. Like.
In general, my day-to-day life, thinking about race is something I don't have to do. And guys, I've got to tell you, it is such a relief. I genuinely feel just at peace. That I don't have to think about that. I still love South Africa. I still genuinely do.
S.A.
I just absolutely love the fact that I can just walk around and not have that as a possibility in my
It sounds
head.
Australian as well.
And of course, if you go out looking
for
racism,
they have a hint,
you could find it.
The accent
but
sounds
as for me
similar.
right now, I'm chill and I'm happy. And being black in Finland,
what did he say near the end? I didn't hear what he said near the end.
I still genuinely do, but I just absolutely love the fact that I can just walk around and not have that as a possibility in my head. And of course, if you go out looking for racism, you could find it. But as for me right now, I'm chill and I'm happy.
I ain't got time to find
being
out.
black in Finland is fantastic. In South Africa and America, people joke about race, and I dig it. I think it's absolutely hilarious. But here, it hasn't found its way into the culture. But otherwise, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, how about you leave this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you think below.
Big ups to Chico.
If you want to support
Chico, man. Wow. Shout out to Chico once again with this vulnerable, very informative video. I can definitely, I've related just off of him talking about his experience with race in South Africa, man. For me, for you guys that don't know, I actually used to live in Ireland. You know what I mean? And you know what that means, bro. For the ones that have been there, it's obviously Ireland. It's an island full of obviously Caucasian people. So I was like second generation. Me and my family were, my mom was first generation. Mom and dad first generation. Me and my brothers second generation. We were the first generation to enter like the school programs in Ireland, and it wasn't the funnest. If you guys want to know what happened with our experience in Ireland, there's a link down below in the description. Went through a lot of obstacles, but you know, I'm here for a reason, man. Here trying to shut down the hate, shut down the racism, you know what I mean? Shut down the closed-minded. So yeah, man, I really enjoyed this video. Being black in Finland, how bad is it? Best believe more videos to come. It's been your boy Barrow, and I'm out, signing out.